Hi, this is Diana and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to make croquettes. Today we're making croquettes. This was a request from one of my viewers and I thought, what a perfect time of year. Croquettes are an appetizer, or as the Spanish call them, tapas, ole. The reason why it's a perfect time of year is because we always have leftovers from our turkey or our ham or even chicken. So let's get started with our ingredients for our croquettes. Okay, let's go over our ingredients. We have milk, flour, onions, parsley, butter, and we bought a roasted chicken from this grocery store, which you can do the same, or you could use your leftover turkey and ham from your holiday seasons. Now, for the exact amount, the recipe will be linked in the sub bar below. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna add our butter to our pan that we've heated up. And we're gonna let this melt. And we're going to add our onions. And we're just going to saute these until they are translucent and tender. When we put the butter in, we started off with a medium heat because we don't want to burn our butter. Then after we got the onions in there, we turned up the heat a little bit. Now you can see that they are pretty translucent and we're ready to put our flour in. So now we're going to add our flour. I'm going to mix this in. I know it looks dry, but that's okay. Because we will be adding other things. You kind of want to cook your flour. Okay, now we're going to add in our milk. And we're going to add a little bit at a time and keep stirring it and mixing it. You're going to be adding your milk to your flour until it's all blended together. This is the hardest part of this dish, is to work your roux in your flour. It's to get all the lumps out of your flour. So you're just going to cook it and stir it and try to get as many of all the lumps out of this flour. So don't worry about it. It takes some time, okay? Okay, as you can see, we've worked all of our lumps out. Also, what we've done is we pureed it a little bit because, as you remember, my Sonia doesn't like onions. So I pureed it so that there's no onion in it except the flavor of the onions there. And you can do that too. So we're cooking this, and now we're going to add our pepper. And remember, like I always say, add pepper to taste, how much you like. And our salt, the same way, you add to your taste. We don't go for a lot of salt, so we're just going to put a little bit in there. And we're going to stir it. And we're also going to put our parsley in. Okay. Now that we have all those ingredients in, we're going to add our chicken to this. It's all mixed. Okay. Now we're going to add our chicken. Now this is the consistency that we want here. Now what we want to do is we're going to take this and put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 or 3 hours, and overnight if you want. Okay, my little cookies, now that we've let our croquette mixture sit overnight, I'm going to show you how to roast some of these. We're going to have about, you can either use one of these small little ice cream scoops or about 1.5 tablespoons at a time. So you take it like this and you just kind of roll it in your hands like this until you get sort of a tubular shape here. And we're going to set that one down.
Okay,
remember that you don't want these too thin and you don't want them too thick, and you want to kind of keep them even. Like, see, this one is a little thin on this side, so we're going to push it in a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to roll it again so that you're kind of consistent. The whole thing is kind of consistent in the size. Okay, we have our croquettes rolled and ready to put in our different mixtures. We have our flour, we have our egg, and we have our breadcrumbs. Now, this is something that you do with your hands, so just make sure that they're clean before you start. So we put them in the flour, and now we're going to put it in the egg. And make sure you get all of it. And then we're going to put it in our breadcrumbs. And there we go. And you just want to kind of make sure that they're all coated. And here we go again. We're going to do this. So we're going to do all of these, and then we're going to show you how we fry them. Okay guys, once you've made your mixture and you've rolled them, it's a good idea, because we have such a large amount, that you can take and put them on a pan like this, a cookie sheet, and put them in the freezer until they get solid. And then you can either vacuum seal them like I did here with the vacuum seal machine, or you can put them in a Ziploc bag and try to get as much air out of them as possible, because the more air you get out of them, the longer they'll last. And then that way you have them for any time you want to. Before I put the oil in the pan, I want to remind you, before you vacuum seal your croquettes, make sure they're very solid, very frozen before you vacuum. Otherwise you're going to end up with one big croquette. Okay, that's just a little tip there. So let's get our oil in our pan. Now we want to put enough oil in the pan yet, and I can't tell you exactly how much, because you just want to cover the bottom of your pan, and I don't know how big of a pan you're going to use. So you just want to cover the bottom, and now we're going to wait for it to get hot before we put these in, and we're going to test it with a little bit of the breadcrumbs and see if they crackle. Oh, look at that. I think that oil's ready. So let's get started, okay? Ooh, look at that. Okay guys, I'm turning my croquettes over. As you can see, they're browning on all the sides. And I just want to remind you, if you took these out of the freezer, you might want to let them thaw a little bit. And I cook them in olive oil because I like the flavor, but I also sometimes throw them in the fryer and let them cook in there too sometimes. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. So we're almost finished here, and we're gonna plate these up and show you what they look like. Okay, guys, our croquettes are done, and we've browned them up, and we want to remember, all we want to do is make them brown and crispy on the outside. Remember, the inside we've already cooked, so we're just warming it up. So let's give it a try, okay? Look at how nice and creamy that looks inside. Perfect. It's delicious. Well, I hope you enjoyed your time in my kitchen. And please try this croquette recipe. Remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And the comment question of the day is, what is your favorite type of croquette? Put it in the comments below. For this recipe and others, go to my website, CookingWithDiana.com. Now remember, it's CookingWithDiana.com. Bye now.
Hi guys, as always, I put 3 videos up top. Give it a click, it'll take you to that video. And then there's that subscribe button, the Make My Mommy Smile button. Please give it a click, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.